Good morning students and welcome back. In today's video, I am going to talk about the various themes of the novel Tess of the D'Urbervilles. So, the main themes of this novel are the injustice of existence, that is, how a human being is a victim of chance and fate. Number two, changing ideas of social class in Victorian England. And lastly, the condition of women, the man dominating society of Victorian England. So let's begin with the first theme, that is of human being as a victim of chance and fate. As you are familiar with the story of this novel now, you know that how unfairness dominates the lives of Tess and her family to such an extent that it begins to seem like a general aspect of human existence in Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Tess does not mean to kill Prince, the horse, the family horse, but she is punished anyway, just as she is unfairly punished for her own rape by Alec. The forces that rule human life are absolutely unpredictable and not necessarily well disposed to us. And when the narrator concludes the novel with the statement that justice was done and the president of the immortals, in the Achillean phrase, had ended his sport with Tess, we are reminded that justice must be put in ironic quotation marks, since it is not really just at all. What passes for justice in fact one of the pagan gods enjoying a bit of sport or a frivolous game. Then the next theme is about changing ideas of social class in Victorian England. The novel Tess of the D'Urbervilles presents complex pictures of both the importance of social class in 19th century England and the difficulty of defining class in any simple way. Certainly, the D'Urbervilles are a powerful emblem of the way in which class is no longer evaluated in Victorian times as it would have been in the Middle Ages, that is, by blood alone, with no attention paid to fortune or worldly success. Indubitably, the D'Urbervilles have purity of blood, yet, for the parson and nearly everyone else in the novel, this fact amounts to nothing more than a piece of genealogical trivia, a piece of genealogical information. In the Victorian context, cash matters more than lineage, which explains how Simon Stokes, Alec's father, was smoothly able to use his large fortune to purchase a lustrous family name and transform his clan into the Stoke D'Urbervilles. The D'Urbervilles pass for what the D'Urbervilles truly are: authentic nobility, simply because definitions of class have changed. The issue of class confusion even affects the Clare clan, whose most promising son, Angel Clare, is intent on becoming a farmer and marrying a milkmaid, thus bypassing the traditional privileges of a Cambridge education and a parsonage. His willingness to work side by side with farm labourers helps endear him to Tess, and their acquaintance would not have been possible if he were a more traditional and elitist aristocrat. Thus, the three main characters in the Angel Tess Alec triangle are all strongly marked by confusion regarding their respective social classes, an issue that is one of the main concerns of the novel. And then lastly, the third theme, that is of the condition of women in of Victorian society in England, how men dominates women. One of the recurrent themes of the novel is the way in which men can dominate women, exerting a power over them linked primarily to their maleness. Sometimes this command is purposeful in the man's full knowledge of his exploitation, as when Alec acknowledges how bad he is for seducing Tess for his own momentary pleasure. Alec's act of abuse, the most life altering event that Tess experiences in the novel, is clearly the most serious instance of male domination over a female. But there are other less blatant examples of women's passivity toward dominant men. When after Angel reveals that he prefers Tess, Tess's friend Retty attempts suicide and her friend Marion becomes an alcoholic, which makes their earlier schoolgirl type crushes on Angel seem disturbing. Now, this devotion is not merely fanciful love but unhealthy obsession. These girls appear utterly dominated by a desire for a man who, we are told explicitly, does not even realize that they are interested in him. So, this sort of unconscious male domination of women is perhaps even more unsettling than Alec's outward and self conscious cruelty. Then, even Angel's love for Tess, as pure and gentle as it seems, dominates her in an unhealthy way. Angel substitutes an idealized picture of Tess's country purity for the real life woman that he continually refuses to get to know. When Angel calls Tess names like Daughter of Nature and Artemis, we feel that he may be denying her true self in favor of a mental image that he prefers. Thus, her identity and experiences are suppressed, albeit unknowingly. This pattern of male domination is finally reversed with Tess's murder of Alec, in which for the first time in the novel, a woman takes active steps against a man. But of course, this act only leads to an even greater suppression of a woman by man, when the crowd of male police officers arrest Tess at Stonehenge. But nevertheless, for just a moment, the accepted pattern of submissive women bowing to dominant men is interrupted, and Tess's act seems heroic in this novel. So, these are the three major themes of this novel. The injustice of existence, or we can say that how a human being is a victim of chance and fate, and how it alters or affects the life of Tess, the heroine of the novel. Then it also portrays the changing ideas of social class in Victorian England, and lastly, the condition of women, that how men dominates women in Victorian age in England. So these are the main themes. I hope this is clear to you. Thank you.